Hiya, my name's Sophie Slater and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Birdsong.London, and we're a social enterprise fashion brand, mostly working with community groups and charities in East London to create ethical, sustainable clothing that fits really well and is made to last.
And looks beautiful.
Thank you.
What are the biggest challenges you've had to overcome when it comes to funding so far?
So as a founder who started her company at the age of 23, I was completely green about everything. There were some things that really helped. For example, getting investment off the bat with Bethnal Green Ventures, which is incredible. But I basically had to learn everything from scratch, and it's been a real journey. We've raised crowdkey funding. We've got investment from people like BGV. But just, I think, a confidence thing massively, and also knowing the landscape. Like, even in the past, 7 years since I started my business, there's so much more funding available for sustainable businesses, which didn't exist even 3, 4, 5 years ago. So considered capital has been really amazing, actually, just to reevaluate the landscape and see what's coming up in terms of funding opportunities. Being intimidated as a woman founder, knowing how to stand your ground or how to tell your narrative to investors in a way that looks kind of attractive is always something that I've kind of struggled with, especially because my other co-founder, who used to take care of all the investment leads, left to start a family. So that's why Considered Capital was really amazing, actually, after 2 years of kind of being CEO and getting to know, or hopefully kind of bigging myself up again to raise money in the future.
What made you want to join the funding school?
So I really wanted to join the funding school because it was recommended to me by a few people who'd done it or who knew Esme in the past. And I just felt completely out of my depth with how to raise fundraising again, especially with the pandemic. I hadn't met any investors or even really thought about it for 2 years. We were just kind of in survival mode and growing the business. Whereas the funding school was incredible. It kind of taught me how to position ourselves. It gave me the language to be able to talk about the kind of funding that we want to raise. It enabled me to think about how much we need. And also, again, just a really fantastic overview of the fundraising landscape and how much it's changed, and connected me to other like-minded business who have quite amazing, unusual governance structures, perhaps, that might help us in the future. And kind of made me realize that you can really forge your own path. So all of that was super attractive.
What did you change about your funding plan after graduating from the funding school?
So I would say the number one thing I changed about my funding plan is that I actually have one now, rather than kind of it hovering on the horizon as something that I needed to think about. I've actually got a plan, and it's really robust, and all the worksheets have been really helpful. And I know the story that I'm trying to tell with my business, and also when we need to get funding. And I don't feel kind of on the back foot either. I think we used to approach funding like anything we can get is great. And now we know that actually we need to pick the best funding for us that works for us and works for our strategic aims.
Can you think of one thing that you learned that really changed the way you thought about funding?
I think Esme introducing us to Library of Things was really incredible, because they're a business I know relatively well. They're a business I've always admired, but really going into the kind of minutiae of their governance structure and how that enabled them to raise £1 million of alternative capital was really interesting, and actually felt really empowering. Like, this is a business on a similar scale, team similar in age to me, and they've really kind of forged their own path in terms of fundraising, and that's really exciting, actually. And especially in the third sector, a lot of these governance structures are still in their infancy, but that's something that's really innovative, I think, and really exciting.